Good morning, manifestors. It's Paula from the 411 on manifesting. Welcome back to my channel. How was your weekend? I hope it was good. It was nice here. It wasn't too windy. It was a little rainy, which I always love to see the rain in the summer, so it was really good. I actually was a bit under the weather. I was supposed to go to a retreat this weekend, and I just wasn't feeling good, and I certainly didn't want to pass it on to anybody else. So I stayed home and I rested. I actually got a lot of rest, more than I thought I would. I typically don't rest when I stay home because I'm not home very often. So I'm always like catching up on stuff and getting housework done, or, crocheting, or just, doing lots of stuff. And I really didn't do that this weekend. I literally rested, which was, I listened to my body, and that's what it needed, and that's what I did. So yeah, it was really, really awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about how to love your debt, which not many of us love our debt. The second thing that we're going to talk about is learn more to earn more. So these are sort of two things that I have been putting into practice into my own life, especially the loving my debt part. So the loving your debt kind of comes in a couple of different stages for me anyway, and I'm going to talk about those. The first one is learning to thank my bills when they come in the mail every month. I think I've talked about this on a previous vlog, that we have to learn to be grateful for, utility companies and credit card companies, banks, finance companies for vehicles, things like that, for trusting us enough to give us this huge amount of money so that we can buy homes and that we can buy cars. Not a lot of people have, $50,000, $60,000 to throw down in cash on a car, or, $500,000 to throw down on a brand new home, or even a used home nowadays. So I think that it's really important that we show gratitude and thankfulness to credit companies for actually trusting us enough to give us these huge, huge sums of money so that we can buy stuff. I think that's probably one of the most amazing ways that I have learned to trick my mind into loving my debt. Because let's be honest, debt can be very overwhelming. It can make you anxious. It can make you worried, maybe especially if you have a lot of debt and maybe you're sort of wondering how you're going to make ends meet, that kind of thing. So this isn't a lesson on handling, your credit cards or your spending. We can do that in another vlog. This one is just about learning to, love and appreciate the debt that you're currently in right now. But I think, again, that's really important. It's like utility companies. Thank you for trusting me to pay you every month to keep my lights on, or, to have my cell phone bill going, stuff like that. I think that's really important to learn to be thankful for those things, because it really takes away the pressure of having to pay them every month. When you look at it at that perspective, when you think, oh, I am so grateful that, I'll just give you, for instance, I am so grateful that the TD Bank trusted me enough to give me $40,000 for my car, and that I'm able to pay it back in monthly installments, that kind of thing. That to me really changed the way that I looked at my debt, especially some of the big debt that I have. That's one of the bigger things that I owe right now is my car. So, that's just a different challenging way to sort of look at it. And I really, really liked about being appreciative for your debt like that. But also too, you've heard the saying, spend somebody else's money, not your own. That's a real hard one for me. And I feel like probably a lot of people in my age group that, we go and spend everybody else's money. But that really isn't the case, especially if you have like a business that you're trying to get off the ground, or, you're sort of just needing some backing, or, whether it's financial or whether it's, emotional support, or, just products to help you out getting your company going. But That was always a really hard one for me, is that I feel that I waited so long in life to kind of start my passion up because I thought I had to have all this giant amount of money to get going. And I was not comfortable asking anybody for any sort of financial help. I never have been. And I know that's not just me. I know that there's many, many people out there that aren't comfortable doing that, especially in my age group, because that's how we were raised. You know, we were raised to kind of make it on our own and get our own feet off the ground and sort of do things that way. But I've found that there is always somebody that wants to help you, yet you just have to ask. You just have to ask. Not just with money. Like if if you need help, cleaning out something, or like just take moving, for example. Is there really at any time, and I know all of us have moved, right? Is there at any time that no one has ever helped you move? Like I can't say that there ever has been. Like everybody helps everybody all the time with that kind of thing. So, the help is always out there. We just have to ask for it. So that I just really want to kind of put that out there, that it doesn't have to debt and asking for help doesn't have to be this big scary thing, just because it's really hard to do things on your own. Sometimes it can be very scary. It's scary putting yourself out there. It's scary getting your business off the ground, and it's scary asking for help. So these are just some ways that you can, kind of feel better about doing that, I feel. But yeah, so love your debt, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, learn more so you can earn more. I really, really love this practice. I love to learn myself. I'm a big, big reader. Those of you that follow my channel, I'm always listing books for reference in the bottom that I read. I try to read like 2 books a month at least. I don't find near enough time to do it. I need to make more time to read more. But honestly, learning is probably one of the best things that you can do for yourself to earn more money, especially if you have a mentor or there's somebody that you admire that's kind of doing the same sort of thing that you're doing. You can kind of hang out with them and watch them, see what they're doing, take notes, all that kind of stuff. Because the more that you learn, the more people are going to trust you, the more people are going to invest in you and ultimately buy your product. If you're trying to sell something that you don't really know a lot of things about it, you haven't really done your research on it, or you haven't talked to other people that are actually doing the same thing, or any type of business that you're looking at, if you're not doing the proper research for it and maybe looking at test groups and again just talking to people sort of about their experiences with a product that you're trying to launch, that to me is priceless. I teach about plant medicine. It's kind of one of my little side hustles that I do, and I'm going to tell you, plant medicine, I'm so grateful for this, that it is completely stayed in a really high vibration level of healing since COVID. Thanks government for forcing everybody to learn how to heal themselves naturally with what is on this beautiful earth. That probably wasn't their intention when COVID was introduced, but hey, here we are now. So sorry, that's my little bad plug there. But anyway, I get a lot of questions thrown at me about plants continually all the time. And man, I'm telling you, I do my absolute best to make sure that I have researched absolutely every single thing about the plants that I talk about, where they come from, what they can be used for, any of the dangers or anything like that, or any precautions that you need to take before you use them. I feel that what I have to teach everybody is very valuable, because I live it. It's a practice I, kind of grew up with, and I've had it myself my whole life. So honestly, learning and knowledge for whatever that you're trying to promote for yourself is huge. It's absolutely huge. It gives you credibility. It makes you authentic as well. There's a lot of people out there that jump on, the new trending bandwagon for things and don't do their proper research. And I feel sometimes that people that do that, I get the excitement that's around that, right? I love the entrepreneur kind of aspect of it, and I get all that. But doing your proper research and learning is what makes you authentic. And when you're authentic, you succeed and you get more people interested in what you're doing. And it's honestly, it's such a great feeling. So I've had a couple classes where there's genuinely been people so interested in it. They come with a list of questions. So I really need to be prepared. I got to, make sure I really know my stuff when I'm teaching. So learning more to earn more. And, ultimately what's happening with me is the more that I learn about it and the more I practice it myself too. I would never ever sell anything that I would never use on myself. I think that's a really, really important thing to get across to people, because at the end of the day, if it's not something that I would use to myself or even give to one of my kids, and I give all my stuff to my kids. They may not like it sometimes, but I give all of my plant medicine and salves and things that I make and forage. I give everything to my kids because I trust what I'm making. I use it myself as well, right? So those are all things that make me authentic with my teaching. And my organic growth with teaching has, this year especially, has grown, I want to say 75%. My classes are selling out in record time, which is absolutely amazing. I'm of course I'm glad that that's happening, but I'm really, really glad that more people are just taking the time to heal themselves naturally. So, and I'm going off on a tangent about plant healing, and that really wasn't where I was going with this vlog today. So I digress. But anyway, learning more to earn more. The more you know, the better you're going to be and the more successful you're going to be with your business. So those are the two things that I wanted to talk about: loving your debt and learning more so that you can earn more. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me. Have an amazing Monday, everybody. And I would love to hear in the comments anything that you have to say about learning or loving your debt, anything like that. I would love to hear about it. That is how we all grow, right? By sharing our experiences and different things like that. So I would love to hear about that. Have an amazing rest of your week, everybody. If nobody tells you this week, I love you. Have a great day. Okay, bye.